For this project, I'll be using lanolin yarn, and this is a fingering weight yarn. It's being sold here in the Philippines and it doesn't come with labels. And I'm gonna use 2 strands of this acrylic yarn. So what I usually do is get the outside and then pull the yarn in the middle as well. So in all my projects I usually do that, wherein I'm gonna pull the outer and the inner yarn and then combine them, and this makes the yarn thinner and it's almost similar to a medium weight yarn. Now I could be wrong, but the size is suitable for 3 to 5 millimeter hook. So the bigger hook you use for this double strand of yarn, the drapey it will get. Now for bags, I usually do 2 strands with a 3 to 4 millimeter hook. So let's start. So I'm using 2 colors. One is the blue green and the other one is a light green. So to end round 1, you're going to work I'm so sorry, I cut the yarn already, so it's difficult to work chain 1 and then fasten off, because every row we're going to fasten off, because we'll be starting from the right side going to the left. So we're now ready for round 2. For round 2, make sure you have 7 double crochets in total, including the chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet. So on that first double crochet, this one is the second and this one is the third. So on the first double crochet, the top beginning third chain there counts as 1 double crochet, and then we're going to chain 3, and then in the same stitch we're gonna work 1 more double crochet, and then chain 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then into the next stitch, the second double crochet in there, we're going to work 2 double crochets again. And then we're going to chain 6 again, 3, 4, 5, 6. So repeat until you get to the last double crochet. So this is what it's gonna look like, and you're going to fasten it off again with, you know, this kind of color. So we're gonna alternate colors in every round. So we're gonna start round 3 this time. So to start round 3, we're gonna use our main color, and we're gonna start with on top of the chain 3, wherein we're going to work 2 double crochets. So you can start working 2 double crochets into the gap between the 2 double crochets. So you can start working your first double crochet, which is chain 3, and then into the same as where you did your chain 3, we're gonna work 1 double crochet, and then we're going to chain 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then into the next 2 double crochets, we're going to work 2 double crochets, I'm sorry, 3 double crochets in there. So 2 and 3, and then chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to repeat that until we get here, and then with the last 2 double crochets, you're only going to work 2 double crochets in there. So this is what it's gonna look like for round 3. Make sure that when you start, you should only have 2 double crochets, chain 8, 3 double crochets in between those chain 6 of the previous round. So make sure that you work the double crochets into the gap between the 2 double crochets. So 3 double crochets, except for the first and the last one. So now we're ready to move on to the next round. So every round we're going to fasten off. So cut this off, and then we're gonna start round 4. So for round 4, you always start with the first 2 double crochets in here. So you can start chaining and then bury the tail later. 1, 2, 3, and then into the same stitch as the chain 3, you're then going to work another double crochet. So on both first and last, we're just going to work 2 double crochets and then chain 8. 1 2 3 4 4 5 6 7 8, and then into the first double crochet of the group of 3 double crochets, we will only work 1 double crochet, and then in the middle we are going to add an increase. So we're gonna do 2 double crochets and then 1 double crochet in the next. So we're just going to repeat that. Chain 8 again. 4 5 6 7 8 until we get here, and then I'll show you how to end this round. So when you get to the last 2 double crochets, we always work 2 double crochets in here. And then we're going to chain 1 and then fasten off. So let's move on to round 5. For round 5, we're going to still start working our first 2 double crochets. So starting every round, you're gonna work 2 double crochets. So chain 1 into the same stitch, work a double crochet, chain 8, and then into the next cluster of double crochet, you're gonna work a double crochet in the first, increase in the next one. So for every cluster of 4 double crochets in this row, we're going to work a decrease and then continue working 1 double crochet in each. So for this round, as always, you're going to work an increase in every second of 4. So there are 4 double crochets in a cluster. So for every cluster of double crochets, on the second double crochet you add an increase until here, and then once you get to the last 2, you will work just 2 double crochets in between, chain 8. So that's for round 5. For round 6 is after working your first 2 double crochets, chain 8. This time we have 5 double crochets of the previous row. So we are then going to work an increase in the middle. So 1 in each of the first 2, and as always in the middle we're gonna work an increase, which is 2 double crochets and then 1 in each of the remaining double crochets. So we're gonna do that around, except for the last 2 double crochets, and then chain 8. So that is round 6. Now for round 7, the increase would be on every 3rd double crochet. So in here, so once you get to the 3rd double crochet of the previous round, that's where you're going to work an increase and then continue working 1 double crochet in each stitch. and then chain 8 in between. And as always, when you start your row, 2 double crochets, chain 8 until you get and also in here 2 double crochets in the last. So there are changes happening, but only when it's only in between those stitches where you add an increase. Round 8 is the increase will be in the middle on every 4th double crochets. So in all group of 7 double crochets, the increase on every 4th double crochet, and as usual you are going to start 2 double crochets, chain 8, and into the last 2 double crochets after chain 8. For the final round, round 9, the increase is on the 4th double crochet. So it's pretty much the same, except that you have to work an increase as you move on to groups of double crochet. So it's gonna look like this. The rest is just a repetition of 2 double crochets in the first, chain 8, and also on the last one. So after this, we're now going to join these loops together to create a wonderful design. So this is what's gonna look like after you reach round 9, and then we're going to insert all the loops together to form just one braid. And then to do that, we're going to probably twist this first. I don't know if you could see it. So we're going to get this second loop here, and then we're going to twist it, and then we're gonna get the next one, and then you're going to twist it. Just like that, and then you insert the hook, then get the next loop, and then twist it so that it's gonna look like all in the same direction. And you're gonna do the same until you reach round 9. So at first it might take a bit of a practice. This is the second time I've done this one, and it's really, I really fell in love with this design the moment I see it, because at first it's hard to imagine how you make these designs, only to know that it's just super easy to make. And that's the reason why I'm showing this to you now. Hopefully you can, enjoy making one too. And then finally you reach the last loop, and then that's it. We're done. And we're just gonna do the same in all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in all 5 we're gonna do the same, just like what we did here. This is what it looks like after you have done all the loops together, and as you can see, it's creating a design. And so for round 10, this is the last row. We're gonna start with chaining 3 on top of the very first double crochet, and then in the next stitch we're gonna work 1 double crochet. So this is going to be the last round, and then when you get to the loop, you're just going to work a single crochet. So 1 single crochet in there, and you're gonna do the same on every loop. 1 single crochet into the loop to close it, and then working 1 double crochet in each stitch. In here we're also going to work an increase, so keep working your second double crochet in the next, and then you're gonna work an increase on every 5th double crochet. So that's gonna be the increase, and then the rest you're going to work a single crochet on every loop, and then 1 double crochet in each, and also do not forget to add the increase on every 5th stitch of every group of double crochets. By the way, this is the first piece of the bag. You will need to make 1 more of this in order to make a clutch. Once you have the 2 pieces already done, the second step is to join them, and you can do that by working 1 single crochet on both edges, on both stitches, in order to make the bag. Unfortunately, I was not able to film it. I don't know why, but I was supposed to show you how to work a single crochet, but just make sure that you catch both loops of both single crochets together in order to close them off. Okay, so once you joined the 2 pieces together, and this is how it's gonna look like, and it's beginning to form like a bag. And after that, don't fasten it off yet, because we're going to work a few stitches around here. Probably will work like 5 rows of 1 double crochet in each stitch around. So to do that, we can chain 1, and then just about right here we're gonna work our first single crochet, and then for every 1 double crochet in a horizontal position, because as you can see we're working in this direction, and for every 1 double crochet maybe we can work 2 single crochets in each, so you can neatly work 1 single crochet in here. Make sure that you're catching loops there, because if you're gonna work underneath like around this one, it's gonna create a hole. So make sure that you insert it into the double crochet. So this is what it's gonna look like, and just keep on repeating, working 2 double crochets, 2 single crochet I mean, in every double crochet, and then that's it. Just continue until you get back around here, and probably work 4 more rounds. So this is what's gonna look like. So once you continue working 1 double crochet, and then maybe in the middle of this you can work 1 single crochet in the ring, and in between 2 single crochets. Now when you get to the corner, you can work a slip stitch on here first, and then continue working a single crochet in every 1 double crochet. So this is what I do around, and if you think that it's too wide for you, you can reduce the stitch, maybe do 1 single crochet in every double crochet, or maybe 3. So it depends on how wide you want the opening to be, but for me, I think I want a narrower opening. So hopefully once I continue working 1 single crochet for 4 more rounds, and then I will show you what it's gonna look like. I'll just keep on working 1 single crochet in here, and then later on I will show you after I finish working 4 more rounds. Okay, so to end a round, you're just going to first slip stitch on top of the first chain stitch, on the first single crochet that we've made, and we're done. So I'm going to chain 1 again and probably start working a single crochet in each stitch, and maybe I'll add a stitch marker so that I'd know that this is the start of the second round, I mean, because I'm gonna work in rounds, and I will not slip stitch in every round. Instead, I will only slip stitch after I finished working all 5 rounds. This is what it looks like after you have worked 5 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch. And as you can see, the design is really great, and we're gonna add a flap in the middle. So after this, we're just going to work a slip stitch into the next stitch, and then we're going to fasten off. And we're done. So next is I'm going to show you how to make the flap. Okay, so for round 1, I'm using a 3.5mm hook, and then I'm gonna work a slip knot, and I'm going to chain 11. So after chaining 11 on the second chain from hook, you're gonna work 1 single crochet in each chain, except for the last one because we're going to work 3 single crochets in there. So when you get to the last chain, you're gonna work 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Now this will turn to the other side and we're gonna work 1 single crochet into each stitch. So keep working 1 single crochet in each stitch until you get to the last chain. So you should have 9 single crochets in this row except for the 3 single crochets in this corner. And then after that, round 2 is we're going to chain 1 and then turn in the very first chain as where your chain 1 is. You're gonna work a single crochet and then you should have 1 single crochet in each stitch except for this 3 single crochets here because we're going to add an increase. Once you have your 9 single crochets in there, we are now going to work an increase into each of the 3 single crochets in there. So for every 1 single crochet in here, we're gonna work 2 single crochets. This is the first increase of the 3 double crochets in here. So we made 1 already. So next one is another increase, 1, 2, and for the last time, 1 more increase, 1 and 2. And now we're going to work probably 9 single crochets, so 1 in each. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, maybe it's not 9, maybe it's 10. Okay. Alright. And then we're going to chain 1 and turn. And then we keep working 1 single crochet in each stitch. And then we're gonna work another increase on round 3. So if you have been, or if you have done crocheting 1 single crochet in circles, it's like that, only we're doing an increase on this side only so that it would look like a half oval. So keep working until we get to the area or the part where we first had our increase in the previous round. So so when you turn here, okay, we're gonna work 1 more, And then in here, as you can see, we have the 3 groups of 2 single crochets. So we can start an increase on the first one. So we can work 2 single crochets, and then 1 single crochet in the next, and we're gonna do that 2 more times. Another increase in here, 2, and then 1 in the next, 2 single crochets in the next, and then 1 single crochet in the next, and then 1 in each of the remaining single crochets. So this is what's gonna look like. If you think that this size is enough for this clutch, then you can stop working another increase, but since I want it to be a bit bigger, I'm going to keep on working the next round. 1, 2, 3, so round 4 is I'm gonna chain 1 and turn, and then work 1 single crochet in each stitch until I get to the part where I have to add an increase again. So when I get to the 2 single crochets in 1 stitch of the previous round, that's where I'm gonna start working an increase. So this time, okay, so this is the start of the increase, so make sure you check first the front. So this is the first increase of the previous round. So this time I will start with 1 single crochet in each of the next 2, and I'm gonna do an increase on every third, and I'll be doing this 2 more times. So 1 in the next, another 1 in the next, 2 single crochets in the next, and then 1 in the next, and then 2 single crochets in the next. That's the last increase in there, and then I will just keep on working 1 single crochet in each of the remaining single crochets in there. So you can change colors if you'd like a different color. Maybe if you like stripes, maybe you can change as you move on to the next round. And this is how I check whether this one is enough for this bag. So I think it's enough, and then you can just fasten off, and yeah, we've in the end, well, because we're going to attach this one here, I'd probably just work a whip stitch or work a single crochet in here. So I'm gonna try that, working a slip stitch first to see if it's gonna look nice. So I know we have many ways of sewing the flap. You don't have to follow this one, but in my case I just want to make sure that it will not fall off. So that's the reason why I am going to join them before fastening off. So I'm working a slip stitch in here, and usually when I do this kind of flap for my bag, I kind of try first whether slip stitch or working a single crochet to join them, and then I try to choose which one is much better. So in here I chose slip stitch because if it's too bulky then it doesn't look good, right? So and then I will try it like that, and then I would add a magnetic button. If I'm gonna add a magnetic button here, maybe I should be putting something on top to hide the back of the magnetic button, and also in here I should add a lining. But if you don't like that, you can just add a button right here, and or maybe a snap button, because if you will add a button here, you should leave a hole in here, right? And because I didn't add any buttonhole here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a snap button or a magnetic button. Okay, so I'm gonna show you later once I decided which one to add to lock this back. This is what it looks like after adding the button. You can use any buttons you like for this project. It doesn't have a lining yet, but if I'm gonna add one, I'm gonna show you in the video how I made the lining. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you make one too.